You're listening to the All Veterans Hour on WLIJ, engaging discussion by veterans for veterans, with your hosts Gary Leverett and Jimmy Miller. They are discussing veterans programs and issues, playing veteran-related music, and keeping American citizens informed on things they ought to know. Every second and fourth Monday on 98.7 and AM 1580, and also on WLIJradio.com. The All Veterans Hour on WLIJ is brought to you by the American Legion Post 23, the DAV Chapter 43, and the VFW Post 5019.
Good morning, Shelbyville, Bedford County. I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Be sure we get Merry Christmas in there this morning. Hope everybody's ready for your Christmas, and so you can take it easy and enjoy. Good morning, Jimmy Miller.
Good morning. Good morning to all our listeners, and again, Merry Christmas. And today also happens to be a special day for me because today is my wife's birthday. So before we get this show started, I want to wish my beautiful wife a happy birthday. I know she's listening because I'm on here.
What's her name? I forgot.
Tracy Miller.
Tracy Miller. Well, happy birthday, Tracy Miller. And I'm not going to ask him well,
I wouldn't tell you.
I'm not going to ask you the age, don't want to get Jimmy in trouble here. So anyway, I met Tracy. She helped us at the fair this year, park cars.
Yep, she's always helpful, always helping with all the events we have.
Well, it's just me and Jimmy this morning. We don't have a special guest, but we're going to give you a lot of information about the VA and our veterans organizations. We just had Raise Across America a couple of Saturdays ago, and that went really well. We placed over 2,500 trees on graves in Bedford County, remembering our veterans. You still remembered as long as somebody says your name, and we said 2,500 names that day. So over 2,500, I think, wasn't it, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think so, between the 8 graveyards.
Yeah. And then this past Saturday, we delivered 200 food boxes to the needy in Bedford County. I want to thank all the people that volunteered to help us with that. On Wednesday, and then on Thursday, when we packed the boxes, we actually packed 200 boxes in about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So that went really well.
It did. It was a big shout out to the Cheville Fire Department.
Yeah,
they sent their young guys there with the strong backs, and they really helped us.
And thanks to Sheriff Austin Swing for giving us a little bit of help Saturday morning, and that worked out really well.
It did.
Saved our backs, didn't it?
It did. We appreciate young backs.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here this morning to talk about our veterans here in Bedford County. The American Legion, the DAV, and the VFW, we try to help our veterans in this county. And we also help organizations that help veterans nationally. And we'll be talking about some of the people that we've had on this year, such as Fitzgerald Freedom Ranch and Dark Horse Lodge. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but we just got through with those 2 events, Raise Across America and
Big Brothers Feed the Needy.
Big Brothers Feed the Needy. So as far as we go, we have to have fundraisers to be able to feed the needy. We through fundraisers and donations, we're able to do what we do. And 4,000 veterans in Bedford County, and we're always recruiting. We always need help. 150 members of the DAV on the rolls. That's paid up members, and about 25 to 30 are active.
Yeah, we could use some more active members. Like we said, the young backs, Now I'm a young one, but most of our members they've been there a little while, gotten a little older, so we could use some of the young generation, and the young generation comes with it new ideas, and we could use some of that. So if you're interested, and we're just like the military, we've got the camaraderie. It's a good time just to come out, and yes, we have meetings, but we probably have 30 minutes of real meeting, and the other hour is just telling war stories, believe that or not.
A meal.
And a meal.
We always have a meal thanks to Rowdy Ranch. So our next event for the American Legion is our golf tournament that we're going to have in April. So you guys that play golf, we're going to change our venue. We're going to have it at Riverbend Country Club this year, and hopefully we'll get plenty of teams. We need sponsors, and we'll start working on that after the first of the year. But that's going to be April the 14th, which is a Monday. So put that on your calendar, golfers, April the 14th. Veterans and Kiwanis golf tournament for the veterans and the kids. This is our major fundraiser for the American Legion for the year. Brandon, let's play a song.
Over there, I knew what I was fighting for. With the good guys, with the bad guys, kick some butt and win a war. But they don't need me now, and these days it's not so clear what I'm fighting for back here. They make it so a 17-year-old can understand our freedom. Our way of life is resting in your hands. Then they give you boots and guns and gear, and they train you up real well. Send a prayer on up to heaven and send you off to give them hell. I learned to sleep with mortar fire just outside my tent. Now night times when I fight to turn that stuff off in my head. And on other nights I lie there, crazy as it seems, I fight all night to stay awake, 'cause there's some dreams I hate to dream. Over there, I knew what I was fighting for. Find Osama, get Saddam and kick some butt and win a war. But they don't need me now, and these days it's not so clear what I'm fighting for back here. There's a battle every day, a job to land, a bill to pay. Sometimes I think I spend my whole life fighting the VA, and it's a battle staying sober when that voice says have a drink. 'Cause the hardest times of all are when I just sit alone and think. Over there, I knew what I was fighting for. It was black and white, wrong against right, kick butt and win a war. But they don't need me now, and these days it's not so clear what I'm fighting for back here. So I fight to save my family, I fight to get respect, and I fight to keep my sanity, and I fight to save my neck. Well, if there's some way to win this thing, nobody taught me how. They taught me how to fight, and that'll have to do for now. Over there, I knew what I was fighting for. Give it everything you got, just kick some butt and win a war. But they don't need me now, and these days it's not so clear what I'm fighting for back here.
song was called Back Here, and that was a what they call a table, right, where 4 or 5 songwriters get around the table and write a song. So, and that song was called Back Here. We'll be playing some more veteran music as we go along today. Jimmy, why don't we get some things out of the way that we do? Go ahead and talk about when and where we meet.
Okay, our Post 23 American Legion, we're located at 1357 Highway 130, 1355. That's right, we changed that. We're here in Shelbyville, Tennessee. We meet on the first Tuesday. Meat is provided by Rowdy Ranch. All we ask is that people bring a covered dish, and spouses are welcome to this event. Actually, we need some more spouses to attend this event.
And also, we need some lady veterans in our organizations. You know, there are several women veterans in Bedford County. We would love to have them in our organization, too.
Oh, that we would. And then we have our Post 5019, the VFW. They're located at 1320 East Depot Street. They meet on the first Monday of the month. And then on the second Saturday, they host a breakfast. It's $10 for adults, $6 for kids, and under 6 eat free. And then on the third Saturday of the month, they have a potluck dinner. All they ask is it's $3 and you bring a covered dish. And then our Chapter 43 DAV, they meet on the second Tuesday of the month. They're located at 1355 Highway 130 East. And they also have meat provided by Rowdy Ranch. All they ask is you bring a covered dish. And with me going over all these times, if you're making your New Year's resolutions now, I'd ask you to put in your New Year's resolution to at least attend one of these meetings and for the new year. And it might be a tradition that you love it and come back all year long.
Yeah, we have a good time, you know, with camaraderie, and we get some business done too. You know, we take care of our veterans here in Bedford County best we can. A little information about how we do that. We have a Veterans Council in Bedford County, and that council is made up of all the paid-up members in good standing that belong to the American Legion, the DAV, and the VFW. And the way it works is if we have a veteran that is in need and he contacts a member of any of these organizations, then that goes before the council. And council is run by a board of directors. There are 11 board of directors, 3 from each organization, except for the organization that has the commander, and they have 4 represented. And then the VSO is also a member of that council. So that's 11 members, and what we do is if somebody's in need, they come to the council. They come in and tell us what they need, and we verify what they're telling us, and if what they're telling us is true and we can help them, we help them. We don't give them cash. What we do is verify that what they need. Let's say they're behind on their power bill or their rent or something, then we'll call that landlord or the power company and verify that they're telling us what's right, and then we'll pay that bill. We don't give them the cash. We just pay the bill. But that's the way it works here in Bedford County. The organizations themselves fund the council. So, and the purpose of that council is, number one, take care of our veterans here in Bedford County. The second thing that the council does is take care of the memorial on the square. Thanks to Mayor Graham and the county, because they help us take care of that memorial on the south side of the square. If you're going around the square, the memorial is on the south side of the square. So that's how it works here in Bedford County. Our council, somebody's in need, get in touch with a member of any of these organizations, then they will get in touch with the council. The council will set a special meeting to invite that veteran and his wife, or if he has a wife. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but then they come before the council and tell us what they need, and if we can help them, we do. So we do try to take care of our needs here in Bedford County.
And we're really lucky in Bedford County because a lot of our members have a direct access to the mayor. And the mayor has no problem hearing what the veterans in the community need. We actually, in his was a quarterly meeting, we have seats there just for our organizations, for the veterans in Bedford County. So if you think that, as a veteran, you'd like to see some things changed, we're your voice. Come join our organizations and help us. The more voices we have, the better things get for us.
Well, Mayor Graham is a veteran himself.
He is.
And Mayor Randy Carroll, the city mayor, he is a veteran also. Both of those guys help us out. So big shout out to them because they support us in a big way. We run the veteran van and vehicles that take our veterans to their doctor's appointment, and those vehicles are owned by the county, so the county pays that bill. We did donate on the van. When we first bought the van, the Veterans Council gave $10,000 toward the purchase of that van to make sure we got a new vehicle, and they gave us a new vehicle. So, because the county made up the rest of it, they paid a whole lot more than we did. And I know that they're working on when to replace that van, because it's 10 years old now. It's getting some miles on it because it runs just about every day through the week. While we're on that subject, if you need a ride to your doctor's appointment, the man to talk to is Bill Tucker. And Bill or one of his drivers will pick you up at your house, take you to your veteran's appointment, to your doctor's appointment rather, and bring you back to your house. We're one of the few counties that do that. Some of the other counties do take the veterans, but they have to meet at a central location, and then they have to have somebody back at that central location to pick them up. And so we don't do that. We pick you up at your house, take you to your appointment, and bring you back home. And Bill, if you need a ride, Bill Tucker says he likes to have 48 hours notice. We know you can't always do that, but if you can, that's what he would like to have is for 48 hours notice. And his phone number, if you need a ride to your doctor's appointment, is 931-607-7178. 931-607-7178. And that's Bill Tucker. Great guy. He's good to our veterans. So that's one of the services that the county provides.
Yeah, it's this county is really good for veterans and really good to veterans. And all the businesses in Bedford County, they support us tremendously.
Well, 99% of them support us tremendously.
Well, they do.
Yeah, there's one or two that just don't do it, but that's okay. That's okay. It's up to them. Maybe they had a bad year. It
happens.
Yeah, it happens. While we're on the subject, Ben Ely, our veteran service officer in Shelbyville, if you need a claim forms processed, if you need to get in the VA system, you need to go see Ben Ely. He is our veteran service officer in Bedford County, and he's located in the basement of the courthouse on the square. And Ben is a super guy. He knows what he's doing, very dedicated to what he does, and we appreciate him very much. And he is a member of our DAV, and he's a veteran too. That's a requirement to have that job. You must be a veteran. So, and his administrative assistant, Miss Cara, she is a veteran also. So, if you need to talk to Ben, you need to make an appointment, because that office is very busy, and you don't want to be sitting out there waiting on him to get through with somebody else, because it might be an hour. You never know. But if you want to make an appointment with Ben, you can call 931-685-4838. 931-685-4838, and that's Ben Ely in the basement of the courthouse in Shelbyville. There are no steps. If you're in a wheelchair or immobile, there are no steps. You can go down a ramp, go through a set of double doors, and go in there and see Ben Ely. So, and again, the county pays his salary. And so we have a lot going on, and we're blessed to live in Bedford County, Tennessee. We really are. Brandon, you ready for one more song? This song is called The Forgotten War.
Just 18 when I shipped out. It was 51, north versus south. I walked into hell the day I hit that shore. An unknown soldier in the forgotten war. Dodging bullets, disarming minds, savage fighting, the cruelest kind. Like no enemy we've ever seen before. I'm still haunted by the forgotten war. We came back changed, we came back scarred. Some embodied bags and some silver stars. We ran through fire, half froze to death. Yeah, we saw things we wished we could forget. Even now, it's hard to ignore those unsung heroes of the forgotten war. No parades when we got home. It was almost like we'd never gone. We've been proud of what we've been fighting for. Never dreamed it would be the forgotten war. We came back changed, we came back scarred. Some embodied bags and some with silver stars. We ran through fire, half froze to death. Yeah, we saw things we wished we could forget. But I remember
You're listening to the All Veterans Hour on WLIJ, engaging discussion by veterans for veterans, with your hosts Gary Leverett and Jimmy Miller. They are discussing veterans programs and issues, playing veteran-related music, and keeping American citizens informed on things they ought to know. Every second and fourth Monday on 98.7 and AM 1580, and also on WLIJradio.com. The All Veterans Hour on WLIJ is brought to you by the American Legion Post 23, the DAV Chapter 43, and the VFW Post 5019.
All right, we're back. Again, wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and I'm Gary Leverett with my co-host Jimmy Miller here, and the purpose of this radio show is not just to hear us talk. Well, what we try to do is let the veterans know that there is help out there and where to get that help. So all through the year, we've had several guests on that have organizations that help veterans, such as Fitzgerald Freedom Ranch. We'll talk about that a little later. Dark Horse Lodge. Others. And we've had Dave Rogers on and his organization, and teaches veterans how to cook.
Yeah.
You know. But we try to give information that will help veterans, not just here in Bedford County, but organizations such as Freedom Ranch, which will accept people from Bedford County or anywhere, and let them have a little downtime. But anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Jimmy. Jimmy, you got some new information from the VA?
I do. So, as we all know, this past year, not much has made it through our great Congress, and our government's let us down a little bit, but there's a couple of things coming up. First off, when Congress opens this year, for the first time ever, we'll have 100 members of Congress that are veterans, which is good for the veterans. And they have two bills right now going. One of them, which has actually passed the House and is on its way to President Biden to sign. This is a mouthful, but it's called the Senator Elizabeth Dole 21st Century Veterans Healthcare and Benefits Improvement Act. I'm sure they'll come up with an acronym for it. But this expands a lot of benefits for veterans. It expands a lot of home health care. It expands, now most of us know that if you go to the hospital, the VA is going to try to get you out of there as quick as possible. Well, this expands that. Now, instead of the VA deciding if they're paying for it when a veteran leaves, they're leaving that more up to the doctor. So if the doctor says, hey, they need to stay another month and recover a little bit more, that's going to be a doctor's call. But it also has some educational benefits. It has where you can transfer your GI Bill to your children and to your wife. So a lot of good things coming out of that. Hopefully that will be passed before the new Congress takes effect. Then also they've created a new bill, and it's called Complete the Mission Act. And it's named because we did our part. Now, to complete this mission, they need to do their part and take care of us. So what this one also expands community care options, makes it a bigger radius, gives veterans more choice, because some veterans can't travel to their nearest VA center. So this is going to give veterans more options. It eases the rules. So right now the rule is you have to be 60 minutes away from a VA center. That's 60-minute drive time also includes congestion. So, you know, if you're driving to Nashville, that could be an hour and a half, that could be a 3-hour drive. It just depends on traffic. So this is going to ease some of those rules to make it easier for us to get care in our community. I'm working right now with the VA to learn more about community cares. I have an appointment Thursday, the day after Christmas, to experience their new. They've got a new facility that does chiropractor, acupuncture, and physical therapy. So the next time we come on air, I'll be able to tell you a little bit more about that and how exactly that works with Community Cares and what they can do for you. But those are two exciting things coming this next year that I hope will benefit veterans. And as I learn more, I'll be on here telling you more. And Gary was talking about some of the organizations that help veterans. Well, I want to give a big shout out. We have an organization called Freedom Sings. We had our last session this past Thursday, and now they're taking a winter break, and they won't start again until January 9th. But they're located at 439 Rice Street in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. This is all veterans that get together with Nashville songwriters and create songs. But we also have camaraderie, and most people say it's an organization. To me, I've been doing it so much and like so much of the people. Freedom Sings is like family to me. We've got some new artists coming on board this year. Layla Tucker, very nice, sweet, humble songwriter and singer. She's one of our partners at Freedom Sings to help veterans write songs.
I believe she has a very famous mother, doesn't she?
She does. If you listen to that last name, she does have a very famous... She's Tanya Tucker's daughter. But she is such a sweetheart, and I want to give a big shout-out to all of my Freedom Sings family and wish them a Merry Christmas. And Don Goodman, they couldn't do it without Don.
There's another organization that does essentially the same thing called Operation Song. And Operation Song was founded by Bob Reagan and Don Goodman. Don broke off and went with Freedom Sings, but those two organizations do essentially the same thing. Mike Byer now is in charge of Operation Song. Bob Reagan has kind of moved on to California, but he's still involved in it. But another great organization that helps veterans, especially with PTSD. And this year we've had a couple of organizations. Well, I don't know if you call them organizations. We got Dark Horse Lodge. They came in on our radio show and talked about what they do. On October 14, 2010, Lance Corporal Alec E. Catherwood, United States Marine Corps, was killed in action in Afghanistan. He was 19 years old. And his mother and dad, Gretchen Catherwood, Gretchen came and was on the show with us and talked about what they do. They've got a lodge on the lake, and Dark Horse Lodge. Dark Horse was the name of of their son's unit, and he was killed October 14, 2010. So in their memory, they're trying to help veterans. They're trying to help disabled veterans. And I was looking for where they're located. Let's see. They're located on the lake. Here we go. Dark Horse Lodge, 1951 Swarver Road, Springville, Tennessee, 731-363-3616. And they're located on the lake. You can stay a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week. They take you fishing. I think they go on a pontoon boat.
They did. They have a couple of them.
Yeah. And so you will be fed, and it's all at no charge. It doesn't cost you anything. So, again, that is Dark Horse Lodge, Gretchen Catherwood. And she was here, so if you go on YouTube, pull out All Veterans Hour, you can go see that program that we did with Gretchen if you want to know more about it.
You can, and I think our last program we had Dawn on here, and there was a song written for Gretchen by Freedom Sings, and it was called Gold Star Mother. And we played it on that session, so you can go back on YouTube and you can actually watch that and hear that song. And Dark Horse Lodge, they have lots of rooms, so if not just you, if you've got your unit and several of y'all need a break, you can plan it and have whole little groups of people go there and spend time and unwind and tell your stories and just relax. So that's a good place I would highly recommend you take advantage of. And I had to look it up, but I couldn't remember. On January 9th at Freedom Sings in Murfreesboro, our guest songwriter is going to be Gary Gentry. If you're like me, you didn't know that name, but if you've ever heard the song The Ride by David Allan Coe, he is the songwriter that wrote that song, but he's going to be a special writer for us, so I'd encourage you January 9th to come join me in Murfreesboro.
And another place that helps veterans a little closer to home, Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, Fitzgerald Farm, or Fitzgerald Freedom Ranch. That's with Marty Fitzgerald and his wife Amy. They have a 114-acre farm, and what they do is they help veterans. They give them some downtime. You can go through some sessions with Amy. They call it healing and community play. For out-of-state veterans coming in from out-of-state or having to stay longer than a day, we have built a studio apartment that overlooks the pasture, which is available to stay at no cost. All of these programs that we mentioned are no cost to the veteran. And Marty and Amy Fitzgerald do a great job over there helping veterans from that 114-acre ranch that they have. And you can go through some therapy over there. Amy is good at helping veterans.
She really is. She's a really nice person, and as she told us, you don't have to, no one's forced into therapy. You can come there and relax, just know that she's there and good people to talk to, and if you decide that you want to go a little deeper, she's an actual therapist and the person you could talk to.
I want to give a shout out to my friend Rodney Schmid. Rodney also helps veterans. He's located right here in Bedford County, and he takes veterans hunting. This guy's awesome. He has a big modified golf cart that he uses in the woods if he's, he might have a paraplegic veteran that's in a wheelchair or something. But he takes them hunting, takes them to their blind, and he takes people from right here in Bedford County. If you're a Bedford County veteran and you need to go hunting and you want to go hunting but you don't know how or where or when, you can talk to Rodney Schmid, and he will be glad to take you hunting. He takes veterans hunting from out of state because there are enough veterans here in Bedford County to keep him busy, but most people don't take advantage of it. So Rodney's a great guy. He's helped a lot of veterans, and we want to thank him for what he does. And he does it out of his own pocket, free of charge, no charge to the veteran. So, again, Rodney Schmid is He's the one to talk to you if you're a veteran and you want to go hunting. He's got farms he can take you on, and if you can't walk very far, he takes care of that problem too. So, anyway, just want to give a shout out to Rodney because he does a great job, and we thank him for what he does.
Yeah, so now we have 2 New Year's resolutions that everybody needs to do. One is come check out our organizations and see what the meetings are all about, see if you want to join us. Now, the second one that I would ask you to do is take advantage of one of these organizations that are for veterans. Go out and see what they're about. Support them. They'll support you. And then the next part of the show, we'll see if we can't make a third New Year's resolution that everybody can try to keep.
Okay, you work on that. Another great organization that helps veterans at no charge is Project Healing Waters, local chapter in Murfreesboro, and they take veterans. It doesn't matter if you're disabled with PTSD or if you just got a severe wound. Maybe you've had a leg amputated or an arm amputated. I've seen guys with prosthetic legs standing out in the middle of a trout stream fishing, or sitting in a river, in the middle of a river in a wheelchair trout fishing. It doesn't have to be trout. I mean, it can be bass, brim, whatever. It's whatever bites that hook, you know. But Project Healing Waters does this. They provide that veteran with the equipment to do it with. They give him a rod and reel. Give it to him. They give him his waders. All the equipment that he needs, they give it to him free. And that runs up to probably about $600-700 worth of equipment. And so that's another organization. They're a great organization. They take outings. I know they have an outing every year on the Caney Fork River. And you go up there, and it's a two-day event. No charge to the veteran. And first day, you might be in a drift boat with a guide, and that guy does everything for you. He got a shore lunch pack for you. So when lunchtime comes, you just pull up to the shore, and he passes out to lunch, you know. Usually he's got 2 veterans with him. So the next day you would be wading. They alternate, one day wading, one day in a boat. So, and all of that is, all these things that we talk about is at no cost to the veterans. I know they've sent veterans to Alaska. They've sent them to Missouri to fish the White River. They've sent them to Virginia to fish the Rose River. And that's just 3 or 4 of the ones that I can remember. What an awesome organization they are.
You just got to take that first step. And
all these organizations are nonprofits, but we check them out. We make sure that the money is going to the veteran. Of course, they have to have some operating money, but we make sure that the money is going to the veteran and not in somebody's pocket. So we try to check all these organizations out before we ever recommend them. And so that's another one that's awesome, that you can take advantage of. Veterans, it's time to get off the porch, get back into life. And these organizations can help you do that. I know a lot of people with PTSD just don't want to come out of the house. These organizations will help get you out of the house. They'll help get you on the water, on the lake, in the woods. So take advantage of them. All right, Brandon, let's do one more song.
Me and Fish Frenchie and Ralphie D. I had the Camp War Eagle 8 Station All-Star team. We were patching up bullet holes trying to survive. And even if we lost 1 out of 5, we got lucky. Got lucky. Mortars raining down like an iron flood, shaking these boots, wading through blood. We own the tanks, they own the night. And if anyone was standing in the morning light, we got lucky. We got lucky. Screaming and bleeding, goddamn noise. Bullets and bombs and messed up boys. Playing with fire like a tiger's toys. It's a miracle of God. Anybody got out alive? But maybe we got lucky. Lucky. Staff Sergeant Gunner named Maurice Young. His chest ripped open and holding his lung. Oh Lord. I packed him and I wrapped him and I put him on a bird. When we hugged a year later, there were just 3 words. When my mind rolls back, it ain't always clear how we put them back together, didn't sleep for a year. As the new crew rolled in, I started to pray. Oh Lord, let them all be able to say we got lucky. We got lucky. We got lucky. Lucky. We got lucky.
All right, we're back. It's Gary Leverett with Jimmy Miller, my co-host, and that song was We Got Lucky. And Jimmy and I have got lucky. We've almost made it through this show this morning, Jimmy.
We have gotten lucky.
Yeah. Just a shout out to you to let you know that in January, on January the 6th, is our next VFW meeting. It's at 6 o'clock, and it's on East Depot Street. Correct?
Correct.
East Depot. And if you would like to become a member of the VFW, we'd love to have you. The qualification that designated is veterans of foreign war, so you must have been in a war, served during wartime, to be eligible for the VFW. Our American Legion, which is the easiest one to qualify for, is on January the 7th. That's the first Tuesday of that month. And that's located at 1355 Highway 130 East in Shelbyville. And be sure if you're putting it in your GPS, be sure you put 130 East, or you'll go to Petersburg. So I don't think you want to go that direction.
It's a long way to go.
So that's on January the 7th next year. And then on January the 14th is our regular DAV monthly meeting. Again, it's at Highway 1355, Highway 130 East. It begins at 6 o'clock. All of these meetings, we have a meal. All these meetings, the wives are welcome. Spouses are welcome. And we try to take care of our veterans. Come join us. Help us. Again, if you need a ride, try to give Bill Tucker at least 48-hour notice. We know sometimes you can't do that, but again, his number is 931-607-7178. Bill Tucker will see to it you get to your doctor's appointment and bring you back home. If you need veteran forms filled out for claims or help with the VA, see Ben Ely in the basement of the courthouse. And his number is 931-685-4838. Chances are his administrative assistant, Cara, will probably answer the phone, but she'll set you up an appointment if you need it. What you got, Jimmy?
I've got just a couple of things. So this time of year, I actually enjoy, and one of the reasons I enjoy them is because I do Wreaths Across America, and I also do the Big Brothers Feed the Needy. And those two events alone help to put my life in perspective. So I get to start the new year out with remembering no matter what I think my life is, it can always be worse, but it can always get better. And I've never met a veteran that isn't strong, isn't been able to accomplish amazing things whether they think so or not. So this year, as you're looking at the new year, and I've already talked about New Year's resolutions, I would ask that you, no matter what your condition, how old you are, Vietnam veterans are some of the toughest veterans I know in life, so make some kind of resolution to make a positive change in your life this year. I'm going to go over a couple of reasons if you've ever made them before, and a lot of people like to make unrealistic goals. Now, if I start January 1st with, I'm going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, there's probably a good likelihood I'm not going to make my New Year's resolution. So start small. It can be, hey, today I'm going to walk to the end of my driveway and back. You know, maybe you're not a good walker. You know, next month I'm going to walk around the block. Start small and make it something that's attainable so that when you achieve it, you know you've achieved something. The other thing is lack of motivation. I suffer from this sometimes. But the good thing about motivation is if you start something, the first time you got to have the motivation. You got to have the willpower to do it. But when you do it enough times, it almost becomes muscle memory. So if you get up every morning and walk around your neighborhood once, well, eventually you won't even think about it. It's just part of your routine, and it helps you to keep it. One of the other things that gets people is lack of accountability. I have gym partners that keep me in line with this. So if you want to do something, you want to achieve a goal, tell somebody. Tell your friend, your wife. Tell somebody that will help you to remind you, hey, you're not doing what you promised yourself. You know, I ain't seen you walk down the driveway in 3 days now. But that helps to keep you. And one of the other things is if you make too many resolutions. So don't make a resolution to, you know, I'm gonna diet, I'm gonna get in better shape. You're gonna do all these things because what happens is you get overwhelmed and you end up not keeping any of them. So make something, a small change, because we want everybody to be healthy, and we need all of our listeners to be back with us this new year and stay with us all year. So I'm challenging everybody to do something good for yourself this next year.
Wow, Jimmy, that's pretty good. You might have overwhelmed them already.
I might have.
3 resolutions. That's, I do good to keep one.
Hey, as long as you keep one, that's good.
But anyway, we would love to have you at one of our meetings. It always starts at 6 o'clock. We always have a meal, and then we have a business meeting afterwards. Same format with all 3 organizations, the DAV, the American Legion, and the VFW. We try our best to take care of our veterans. We just need more. We need more participation. So, and one thing I'll say, if you're interested in maybe joining the American Legion and you're over 80, you can join. It won't cost you a dime. If you're over 80, Post 23 will pay your dues. So that knocks out that excuse.
It does.
Anyway, we need some younger members too, believe me. We need some younger members, but a lot of times they don't get involved until their family is raised and they got an empty nest, you know, and then they get involved. Because when you're young, you're carrying kids to ball games and dance recitals and church and here, there, and everywhere. Mama's going one way, Daddy's going the other way. I don't have time to do American Legion or DAV, you know. That's what we hear a lot, and that's true. That is true.
Yeah, but you can do what you can.
Yeah. I mean, you're a granddaddy, I'm a granddaddy, and I didn't get involved till I was 50 years old.
I had to retire first.
See, that's what I'm talking about. So anyway, if you're an empty nester, you need something to do, and you're a veteran, come see us. We'll put you to work.
And it's good work. It's fulfilling work.
It is. It's helping somebody. So I guess when we play this last song, that'll wrap us up for the week.
It will. And I want to tell all of our listeners, God bless you and Merry Christmas. And since we won't be on until after the new year, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Our next show will be January the 13th. So we'll be back with you January the 13th. Y'all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll see you next year.